Yeah. $3.52. What do you want me to say at 3:52 in the morning? Honeycomb's big. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's television. Get the mic up. Oh, man. How about that? Remember Ice Cream Jones? Had that one. My name's Ice Cream Jones, ding-a-ling-a-ling. I'm bringing the world my ice cream cones. Yeah. All those old commercials are just emblazoned in your head, in your subconscious mind. It's amazing. Think about like all the old cereal commercials. This is something that I don't know. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. My son's never gonna have to deal with. Hold on, let me get the mic running here. Testing. Hello. All right. What was some of the old cereal? Let's put this thing in the wrong pocket. The old cereal jingles. The best is this one always pops into my head. Can't get enough Super Golden Crisps. It's got the crunch with punch. What was it again? I don't know. Here we go. Sip of coffee for cereal in the morning. I remember the thing was the cereal that I always wanted Cookie Crisps. Cookie Crisps was basically you're pouring yourself a bowl of chocolate chip cookies. Whoever came up with this should be the next president of the United States. You're pouring yourself a bowl of cookies and then you're pouring milk on top of it. And my mother, right? And my mother, oh no, you can't have Cookie Crisps. That's all sugar. Sure. But no problem. We had Count Chocula, Captain Crunch, Cocoa Pebbles. Yeah, that's no problem. Cocoa Krispies, yeah. Okay, but you can't have Cookie Crisps. God forbid. Too much sugar. Sip of coffee for Cookie Crisps. So exciting when you would get a new type of cereal. I remember when we got Honeycombs. I couldn't believe how big they were. The commercial was right. They were huge. I don't know, where are we going with this? And then you'd have the prize inside the box. And me and my sister, we had, Mom would go shopping for cereal. She'd come back with like 4 cereal boxes. Every single one of them had a prize. And me and my sister, we just wanted to rip the tops off, dive in, and get the prize. But no. Not my mom. You had to we weren't allowed to, because if you reached your hand into the box of cereal, you compress all the cereal, or you make the box wider, and then the cereal would fill out the volume of the box, so then the box would get like all football shaped. So we couldn't have that. So we'd have to actually wait until we poured our cereal, and because I had two sisters, whoever's cereal bowl the prize fell into, which wound up getting the prize, which was basically like, it was like reverse the Russian roulette scene from The Deer Hunter. We had to wait for the prize to fall into your cereal bowl. I was like, who is my mother? Heinrich Himmler? I was watching, speaking of Heinrich Himmler, I'm watching this series on Netflix about Nazi megastructures. And they were talking about how, let me tell you something right now. You know how lucky the world is. Listen, you guys hate your politicians now? You don't even know what the world would have been like if Hitler didn't go into Germany. That's all. It's the end of the world as we know it. They were going to build, number one, I don't know, they had a fucking time machine in the works. Of goddamn, what was the other thing? UFOs. They were working on this. This was research and development. While they're losing the war, Hitler wanted to devise a whole new train gauge. Like, you know how you have like model trains? You have N scale, HO scale, H scale, I don't know, Z scale. Well, the standard train tracks, I don't know, how far apart are two train tracks? I don't know, what are they, like 3 feet apart? Well, he had plans for a mega gauge train where the tracks, just to give you an idea of the scale, the tracks would have been 3 meters apart. And it would have been like luxurious, like captain's quarters, and the ability to haul around like the biggest cannons known to man. They had these huge tanks in the work, these ground crawling tanks. I mean, holy Christ! It would have been like Metal Slug in reality. And they were talking about the Nazis and their affinity with train and like railroad and train travel, and how what was his name? Hermann Goering had this like huge model train set in his basement, and when he would entertain guests, he'd go downstairs in the basement and show everybody his model train. It's like, it's fucking man. The people must have been sitting there drinking their wine and the guests and whatnot. I'm like, okay, this guy's fucking crazy. He's building, he's in charge of building like the biggest army like known to man, and we're playing with his model train right now. It just goes to show you, no matter who you are, you never get the kid out of a guy. You just never get the child out of a man. I'm picturing this guy setting up his train set in his fucking in his uniform. Say what you want, the Germans, they had the best looking uniforms of all time. I mean, listen, it's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, if you were a German soldier, I mean, they had a good looking... All right, we got 2 packages. We got one, for some reason when I pick it up, No. I'm sorry. Listen, you go out to eat, these things happen. Now, as I get older, I notice that I never mind hangovers from drinking. You get hangovers from eating food. We got this burger joint out here. It's called All American Burger. It's been around my whole life. It's like one of these old fashioned, like, oh man, what happened to America? There used to be like places where you bring your hot rod. Excuse me. You know, you bring what happened to you bring your hot rod down to the burger joint? They do that anymore? Anyway, it's one of these like old school burger joints, you know, like neon lights. You get yourself the old greasy hamburger, you know, the old fashioned fries, a milkshake. And then right next door they have the old fashioned ice cream parlor. My God, you eat two of those quarter pounders, a friggin' medium onion rings, French fries, a milkshake, and then you go over to the ice cream parlor? Oh, bah. And then the next day you have a food hangover. Watch, when you hit 40, you start having food hangovers. Oh my God, you don't even want to get out of bed. It's worth it though. It's worth every minute. Oh. Anyway. What do you got here? Alright. Alright. We got a package here that came in an Amazon envelope. It's addressed to Jesse Bithead 1000, by the way. And it's coming from Lexington, Kentucky. Sip of coffee from Model Trains, by the way. I had a Model Train. That was my two passions going to Toys R Us. It was looking at video games and model trains. There's a guy that... There's a real lady killer, huh? HO scale model trains. I used to love it. Oh, please. Scrubbing the track with sand. I don't know. Here we go. What is this here? Whoa. Oh, man. Is there a note in here? Wow, this is coming directly from Amazon. Okay. And there's a note in here. Love the show. Thanks for keeping the dream alive for other 40-something blue collars. I hope this is a worthy addition to the Nest collection. Your pal, Aaron from Ohio. Aaron, wow. Would you look at this? Data East All-Star Collection. Oh my God. Oh, this is incredible. Look at this thing. It's boxed like an old Nintendo game. Even got the hanger on there. Wow, look at this. Bad Dudes, Side Pocket, Ring King. Oh my God! Remember Ring King? Let me tell you something. Ring King never got its due because of Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I remember the funny thing about Ring King was between rounds, I don't know, you'd be sitting in the corner on your bench, and your trainer was like this, but you saw your trainer from the back. It looked like the guy was blowing you. That's true though. Buggy Buggy Popper and Burger Time. Wow, this is a beauty right here. Oh, Buggy Popper looks just like Bump and Jump. Wow, I wonder if that is Bump and Jump. Enjoy some of the very best games from the Data East Library with All Star Collection cartridge published by Retrobit for your NES console. This is a 5-in-1 card compiles a must-have list of retro classics. Wow, how great is this? Includes exclusive sticker and button pin set. Wow. Data East people. Side pocket. I remember me and my buddy. You know, it was funny. It was funny how we would go on tears with games. Like Rex and I would go on tears like tennis games. You know, it was all the tennis games up until the 16-bit era, and then me and my buddy Phil we'd go on a tear with pool games. We loved playing pool games, and I believe Lunar Pool was. I'm sorry. Uh, well, Lunar Pool was definitely one of those games, and Side Pocket. One of the my favorite things to do in pool games was you could adjust the friction of the table, and you could adjust the friction down to zero, and you could just watch the balls go for like an hour. We didn't have Netflix back then, guys. All right. Wow, this is amazing though. Look at that. That's beautiful. What a beautiful addition to anyone's collection. Poh, awesome, Aaron. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sip of coffee for Aaron. Yeah. Yeah, my son will never know the psychological warfare of cereal commercials. Be honest with you. I got news for you. You guys that are like 40 years old, you don't know, we're kind of lucky, man. We were raised by professionals. Fred Rogers, uh, excuse me, Sesame Street, The Electric Company. I mean, Mr. Wizard, Newton's Apple. We were raised by professionals. And what scares the hell out of me is my kid sits on the iPad and he watches YouTube videos of like he's being raised by amateurs, not just amateurs, imbeciles. Well, I don't want to say imbeciles. I don't know. He watches people opening up toys all day. Parents, you better jump in. You better teach your kids because the iPad's not doing it, brother. He's being raised by rank amateurs here. And then you watch this guy who's opening up. The guy goes to like Toys R Us and buys a huge box of these like little car toys, and he opens them up to see if he can get them all. I mean, what kind of gluttony? And then my wife watches it and she's like, oh, uh, he's got 70 million views. How come you can't get 70 million views? And I'm just like, oh, I don't know, honey. This guy's rolling in money and you're outside in your shed. It's like, yeah. Yeah, it's true. All right. Oh, here we go. We got a package here from Brandon W. Wow. Here we go. Los Angeles, California. LA, baby. Los Angeles. Wow, the box is light, but it's huge. Look at this. What size is this box? Huge. All right. Got a note here. Wow. This is a note, handwritten too. Look at that. Notes used to be like the part of the show that I dreaded the most. And now I think it's my favorite part, reading the note. All right. Hi, Jesse. Greetings from Los Angeles. Enclosed you will find 2 games which I will not name. It's a guy that knows what he's doing. One was supposed to be a present for my brother's girlfriend, now ex. Wow. Sorry to hear that. The other I recently acquired, but feel no attachment for. Although I hear from a friend that it's a great game. I believe you do not have these 2 at the time of writing this. Although I'm a few years younger than you, I do have memories playing Nintendo at friends' houses. And I enjoy hearing stories of you doing the same. We had an Atari 2600, then a 7800. Wow, that was unusual. That was unusual. Sip of coffee for the 7800, huh? But for some reason we skipped the NES and went straight to the Super NES. Wow, that was unusual. Everybody made the leap to the NES, right? After the Atari. And what a leap it was. A leap is a good way to describe that. Went straight to the Super NES. Long story short, I spent my formative years playing mainly on Super Nintendo. Could have been a lot worse. It's not too shabby. So I do not have a nostalgic feeling for these games. They are in great condition, and I'm proud to contribute them to the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization. And you better believe that. With a 4K face! Sip of coffee to you, sir. No. No. Sip of coffee to you. Okay. Take care and good luck completing the collection. Brandon. Do not read this on camera. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Oh, jeez, man. You guys do a packing job and a half. I gotta say. Oh, boy. This thing was packed in. I don't know. Oh man. Oh, would you look at this? Oh wow. Brandon, man. Wow. It's not often we get to talk about this game because it's not often that we find this game. Look at this. Oh God, look at that cover. Boy, does that bring back some memories right there. Look at that cover. That cover art. Ooh, Jackal. Ooh, isn't it a shame it got outshined by Contra? Oh, it got outshined by Contra. Not many people talk about Jackal. Guys, this is the overhead Contra. This is the overhead Contra in military jeeps. Okay? The music, it has that Konami music. What, are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, baby. Konami music. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better. Two players overhead driving in military jeeps. I'm preaching to the choir. Who doesn't know about Jackal? If you don't know about Jackal, hang your head in shame. You're pathetic. Get off my show! If you don't know about Jackal. What can I tell you about Jackal? Late nights into mornings playing this with my buddy Rex. Jackal did not have the code, if I'm not mistaken. It didn't have the 30 life code. Absolutely not. We didn't know the code. Maybe there is a code. We didn't know it growing up. So, yeah, we had to do this one the hard way. And Jackal was, it was tough, baby. It was tough. You know what it was tough doing? It was tough to, Jesus Christ, synchronize with your friend. You know, this is a two-player game where you both had an objective. You know, I'll take this side of the village, you get that side of the village. When we fight the boss, you take out those gun turrets. I'll aim for the statue's head. When the mouth opens, it was that type of deal. You coordinated yourself. Wow. Rex and I could easily have gone into battle, been tank operators inside the tank, coordinated ourselves. I drive, Rex, you fire the guns. I don't know, turn the turret. What do you do? I don't know. Very easily. This is one of the greatest Nintendo games of all time, right here. Easily. What a solid game this is. Oh, it's wonderful. Shoot the missiles out of the front of those Jeeps. That's one thing I always wanted to do with a car. Rig it up to shoot rockets out of the front. That's a whole new story. I just wanted to see somebody's face when, like, they cut you off and then you fire a rocket at their car. You know, not a real rocket, but a rocket comes flying out of your car. Oh, please, I want to do a flamethrower too that operated off the gas tank and your windshield wiper pump. Anyhow, I had my windshield wiper pump piped up to a nozzle that you can adjust from inside the car, and it was hooked up into the fender of the car, and what it would do is it would spray the car next to you. And I remember one time we're cruising on Deer Park Avenue. We pull up next to these fat girls. And I remember one of us said to the, like, hey, what's your name? And the girl turned around. And I hit the sprayer and sprayed her right in the face. But we were at a red light. So then it became really awkward. It was like spray. We were all like... Then you had to wait for the light. I don't know. And for some reason it was awkwardly quiet. Anyhow, Jackal. Wow. Guys, you want a wonderful Nintendo 2-player experience where you and your buddy can really duke it out, you know, and cooperate together. Oh, you drive around, you pick up prisoners, you bust open these camps, you free prisoners of war, they hop in your Jeep, you unload them at the end of the level. Oh my God, it was like Choplifter on the ground. In hell. Doesn't get much better than that, folks. And whoa, this is a beauty. Look at the condition of that game. Wow. Rex, let me tell you something right now. Rex has all the toys we used to play with. He had a toy room. Like, this is unbelievable. He had a toy room where when he was done playing with the toys, like the toys would go back into the toy room. That toy room still exists today. With all the Star Wars, we had a Millennium Falcon, the G.I. Joe, what was the big freaking aircraft carrier? The big aircraft carrier that was in the toy room. Capsella, Construx, Legos, all game systems are in the toy room. His father and him were the type of guys that they didn't get rid of anything. And I remember Rex, I haven't seen Rex in a while, but Rex had a thing for nostalgia. I remember when he told his father, we were well into the Super Nintendo days, and he told his father that he wanted to take the ColecoVision out and hook it up. And even I was thinking, what the fuck are you thinking? Maybe it wasn't that bad, but his father was like, why would you want to do that? And I remember Rex said, I think Rex even said, because Rex was a smart kid, I think he might have even said, for nostalgia. And his father thought that was ridiculous. No, absolutely not. You can't take it back out and hook it up again. So, even back then, Rex was ahead of his time. How about that? All I want to do is go break into the house, because I know the old Nintendo's there. The copy of Jackal that we used to play is there. The TurboGrafx with a huge library of games. I mean, forget about robbing a bank. One of these days I'm just going to suit up. And break into Rex's house. I'll have that fucking aircraft carrier under one arm. Goddamn TurboGrafx under the other arm. Okay, here we go. You guys know which one it is? Okay, I'll give you a clue. Kemco Sika? Alright, here's an interesting game right here. Deja Vu. Wow, this thing weighs like 10 pounds. Deja Vu. Never played it. Never played it. We don't have it. So that's a home run, number one. But here's what's interesting about Deja Vu. This is on the heels of Beyond Shadowgate. Oh, God. As a kid, I wanted Beyond Shadowgate so bad. Beyond Shadowgate was basically a point-and-click adventure game. You ready for top 3 point-and-click adventure games right now? You ready for this right now? This is an official list. Maniac Mansion, Loom, and Beyond Shadowgate. And one of these days, if I get a reproduction of Beyond Shadowgate, we're gonna do a playthrough of that game. Oh, what an amazing masterpiece! And I'm gonna do all the kills. I know you guys are all salivating right now. No, here we go. Yeah, so this is right on the heels of Beyond Shadowgate, point-and-click adventure. I remember being so excited about Beyond Shadowgate. I wanted it so bad, but I never pulled the trigger on it. And then this came out. This was what because I think they were both Kemco Sika. I'm probably not saying that right. But this was more of a, where Beyond Shadowgate was more of a, I don't know, I don't want to say scary or medieval or more like in that, Dungeons and Dragons type of ilk. This was more of a detective story. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. I'm guessing that by the cover and pictures that I probably saw in Nintendo Power. So, wow. Very nice. Wow. Brendan, Aaron, let me tell you something right there. That's very, very, very special right there. Awesome. I mean we got Ring Kings, Bad Dudes, Burger Time, Bump and Jump. I mean, this is all stuff I used to play. And here we go. We got 2 great additions to the game shelf. Let's get them in there, huh? I'm getting so old that I'm forgetting the sequence of like wrapping up the show here. I'm looking around like, what do I do next? I'm chalking that up to it's just early in the morning. I'm praying that's what it is, and I'm not just like, I haven't destroyed all my brain cells. All right. I mean, at this point, it's almost to be expected. I don't know.